HarperCollins presents Once a Pilgrim by James Deegan. Read by Joshua Manning. Part 1. Baghdad, Iraq. 1. Sergeant Major John Carr stood in the low light, fighting unfamiliar emotions and watching his blokes go through their final equipment checks. Even at this hour, the air was brutally hot and humid, and it stank of open sewers, old garbage fires, and diesel fumes from the idling vehicles. Foul in his nostrils as it was, he inhaled deeply. To Carr, it smelt like nothing on earth. He was going to miss it. Tonight would see yet another operation against yet another high-value target. This one a man codenamed Joker. Joker. Sufyan bin Ahmed, a former colonel in Saddam Hussein's Republican Guard, and now the leader of the Obedient Servants, a vicious Al-Qaeda in Iraq cell responsible for multiple atrocities and deaths. Another night, another nasty bastard. The men of 22 SAS and Task Force Dagger had been at this for a long time now, year after year spent hunting and killing the murderous jihadists who had turned Iraq into a charnel house, slick with blood. Most of the action took place close enough to smell the other man's breath, and sweat, and fear, in dark, dank rooms in backstreet houses and compounds where the enemy holed up to make his stand. With this tour drawing to its end, Carr's squadron had been lucky, with only a couple of soldiers wounded and none killed. They were facing a foe who prayed for his own glorious death, and that presented a very particular challenge. But it was one which the men from Hereford were more than equipped to meet. Their phenomenal skill at close-quarter battle and their proficiency in the art of room combat had changed the course of the campaign, and the flow of volunteers was drying up. The streets of the Iraqi capital might be teeming with those who loudly proclaimed their desire for martyrdom. Few actually stepped up. Squadron Quartermaster Sergeant Geordie Skelton wandered over, one giant fist wrapped round a hot brew, despite the 35-degree heat. He and John Carr had passed selection together, and had gone on to serve in every theatre to which the SAS had been committed during the 19 years they had spent at the tip of the spear. Carr would have stepped through the gates of hell with Geordie by his side, and the feeling was mutual. "What's on your mind, buddy?" said Skelton, slurping tea. "Getting out," said Carr, quietly. Absent-mindedly, he rubbed his chin, rough with stubble, and felt the livid crescent moon scar under his lower lip. A few yards away, a couple of young troopers cracked up at something a third had said. He envied them. They had years of service ahead of them. "Knowing I'll never do this again," he said. "Knowing it's all over." "Fuck me," said Skelton, with a laugh. "That's another day. Let's get this one done first, eh?" "Yeah, you're right," said Carr. "Feeling sorry for myself. Give us a swig of that brew." Skelton handed over the mug, and Carr took a big mouthful of the strong, sweet tea before handing it back. "Knowing my luck, I'll get clipped tonight," he said, with a rueful half-grin. "Away, man," said Skelton. "What the fuck's up with you? 20 years of dickhead shooting at you, and you've never had a scratch, bar that fucking action man scar on your chin, and even that's just made you a fanny magnet. Your luck, you'd jump into a barrel of shite and come out clean." "Aye," said Carr. "I'm only kidding. If either of us get clipped, it's all went south, that's for sure." That was true. At their level of seniority, John Carr and Geordie Skelton would not even be entering the target building. Grizzled old men like them would hang around at the back with the Squadron HQ element, directing the whole thing, while the young guys did the business. The building in question was a pale grey 2-story villa to the south of Masafi Street, in the hardcore Sunni suburb of Dora,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?